Right, it's a real pleasure to be joined by Ted from Don't Panic. How you
Hey,
doing?
hey, how you doing?
Hey,
What's shaking, man?
not too bad, not too bad. You all right?
I'm doing great.
I mean, you just got off a boat, haven't you? Like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I did. I was on something called the Rock Boat,
I mean,
and I just got home yesterday.
that's just sounds amazing. I mean, I've spoken to a few bands now that have been on like cruise ships and done gigs, and it just sounds ridiculous.
Oh, it was really fun. There's a lot of cool bands. Bowling for Soup played, Lit, the Struts, this band Young the Giant. There's a whole bunch of bands. It was a lot of fun. I got to perform on this like songwriting thing that I did, and sorry, it's my phone. And it's a real absolute blast. I'm worn out. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, like as perks come when you normally do a gig, backstage, it's not glamorous. I mean, there's not many places where the backstage is glamorous, but when cruise ship, that's not a bad backstage.
Yeah, it's pretty great. You just kind of you have your own room. You can go to that if you want. You have the green room, or you just go out on the deck and see the beautiful sunset and unlimited amounts of food and drinks, and it's quite the experience. It's really wild.
I mean, it's the sort of gig that he's like, yeah, we're not saying no to this. We're 100% we're the one.
Yeah, I'd be hard pressed as a band to decline such an invitation. I'll say that much.
I mean, because I literally was trying to think about this, like, what is the best venue for perks? And I can't really think of a better place than a cruise ship, except maybe Vegas, and you get
A
like a
boat.
casino.
Oh yeah, they have a casino there.
See, yeah, you don't even need Vegas. It's all there. It's all a boat.
Yeah, it's a casino right on the boat.
So I'm relatively new to Don't Panic. I've only really recently discovered you guys. Um, and I found out that so you were around in like 2009 until 2011. You took a bit of a break, and then you came back just in time for the world to end.
That's right. Yep, we waited just for the right moment.
Yeah, the perfect time to relaunch a band. But
Yeah.
after taking such a long, like 8 years, quite a long break for a band, how difficult was it to get back into being a band again? Was it almost like starting over?
No. Well, it was and it wasn't. For starters, when we stopped playing live and like working on stuff and we're like spending some time just like kind of working on our lives, we all spoke to each other and we're all best friends. So it wasn't like we just disappeared from each other's lives and then popped back in. But as far as like the music went and performing and all of that stuff, it was like, yeah, we never stopped. Like it was just like we're hanging out, like we're having fun. Uh, I think the hardest part of coming back to it is when we were had last really been going full steam. Uh, the streaming world really didn't exist. It like a little bit. Like there's
Yeah.
iTunes and stuff, and you had to buy songs for like $1 a piece or whatever it was. But there wasn't like I'm gonna buy a streaming package on Apple Music or Spotify and just listen to as much music as I want all the time. So we were still selling CDs and slinging that. And when we came back, playing full time in 2019, it was like, oh no, people don't buy CDs anymore. And if you want to sell physical stuff, it's got to be vinyl. So it's like, okay, so we're kind of like back in the 70s. Uh, so when we came back, it was like, all right, I guess we got to promote our Spotify thing. We had to make an iTunes or an Apple's music like site, and like, we had to like sign up for all those things, have like artist pages, and be able, do all that stuff. And so it was, and also navigating Instagram and then TikTok. When we had kind of slowed down, MySpace was like kind of on the decline and Facebook was on the incline. So we had a little bit of each, but we didn't have like a Twitter page that we really used. We didn't have an Instagram page. So it's like make all that stuff and learn it. And, now it's like video and TikTok. And now it's, lots of photos on Instagram. People don't want to hear, people weren't looking at just like text posts that you would do on Facebook and be like, our band's playing here, here, here. You'd like have fun little skits and like, it's like, it's a whole nother thing you got to do, and we have to kind of learn, and we're still learning. I'm
Yeah.
40, and I still don't get TikTok. I try, and I do not understand it one bit.
I mean, I'm not going to claim I understand it either. It's a thing. It exists, and
Yeah, it's almost the most important thing. A lot of people are saying like that is the way to get your music out is TikTok now. So it's like, oh, I guess I really better spend some time and learn this stupid program. And then by the time I finish learning it, they're just gonna have a new one, Blue
Yeah.
Blurb or something, and then I got to learn that stupid thing.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's really scary to think that it was only like an 8 year difference between CDs, which I still buy CDs. I'm one of the very few people that still does,
Yeah,
and
there are
then
people that do.
streaming.
Yeah, and not like a subtle difference, like almost no CD sales and all streaming, like
Yeah,
over the course of it was probably 5 years, like where that happened. Whereas like we my old band used to play on Warped Tour every year, and we would go with a backpack and a CD player, and we'd walk around and we'd have hey listen to our band, listen to our band in the line and at the festival, and people would buy CDs out of your backpack. And if you went on like most of the Warped Tour, you could sell like 10,000 CDs, like just doing that.
yeah.
Now you'd be lucky to you could geez maybe 100 to 1,000 CDs is like whoa we sold 1,000 CDs all right, you know what I mean? So it's like it's wild how different it is.
I know, but I still love a CD. I still love the physical thing because
There,
it's something to own. Because you don't own streaming;
yeah,
it's there, and then it
yeah,
goes.
I 100% agree. I'm the same way. I buy DVDs. Yeah, I buy DVDs of shows that I like still. I do get CDs of albums I like, and at our shows, a lot of people do buy our CDs, but a lot of them sometimes they go, I don't even have a CD player. I just want to own
Yeah,
your album and I'll put it on my wall or I'll, you know what I mean? Or if I have, if I'm in an old car, I'll put it in the CD player. Most laptops don't even have CD players when you
no,
buy them anymore. So,
yeah,
you know,
it's fading out. But I mean, one thing, like, you know, everyone's got a Google Home or an Amazon or whatever, and I was having an argument with mine earlier, going, "Play Don't Panic," the band, and it just went, "Playing Don't Panic" by Coldplay, and I was like, "No, Don't Panic, the band," and it was like, "Coldplay, Don't Panic," and I was like, "No."
yeah. So and that was a problem when we first started too. Coldplay put out that Don't Panic song, and that's not what the band is named after. Although Coldplay is okay, but I'm not a big fan. Uh, and then after in between our like time of like touring a lot and then coming back, the band All Time Low put out an album called Don't Panic also. So it's like a lot of people who search for our band, like those are the first two things that come up is All Time Low and Coldplay, and it's like, ah, geez. Uh, so it is a little tougher to find us sometimes, like the way you're doing it, but we're there.
Yeah, no, I got it eventually after
Yeah,
several times going, "Don't Panic, the band," and then the
yeah.
band, "Don't Panic." Eventually, we got there. I mean, you describe yourselves as pop punk, which I think, yeah, that's fair to say. Which I do love pop punk, but I think in the UK we don't appreciate pop punk as much as the States. I think there's a
Mm.
lot more where you are than what we have. So, like, when you come and play over here, do you find there's a big difference in the crowd's sort of response because you kind of got so much pop punk in the States, and over here we've got so little. When we get it, we're super excited for it.
I think well, a big part of it too is that we didn't describe ourselves personally as pop punk, but people would always associate us with that stuff. Uh I always say that we're like a pop punk Foo Fighters. We're a little more rock and roll,
Yeah,
and we all grew up listening to like even now a lot of us listen to more like Queens of the Stone Age and the Foo Fighters and White Reaper and like some rock bands. I love punk rock and pop punk, and I grew up on that stuff. Uh, but I think uh, honestly, when we come over there, we go over better, and we have the people are more into our music. I've noticed that from the two times that I went on tour in the UK with Don't Panic, that, and I know like Foo Fighters are huge over there. They're big here, but I know that they do like sell out Wembley 2 nights in a row, kind of
yeah,
big over there. So I feel like a uh, in the United Kingdom, people are much more open to listening to lots of different kinds of music, and they get equally excited about all that. But I think our crowds are fairly similar as far as like who comes, but I think all you guys over there are just way more excited about shows. And maybe because bands, it's harder for bands from the States to come over there. So when a band does, everyone really does make sure to go. I have noticed though that if you're not playing like 5 miles from your house, that you're gonna complain online, you guys. You're not playing in Gloucestershire, and we're like, oh, but we're 5 miles down the road. Like, no, 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 it needs to be in my town. I don't want to I don't want to take the public transportation or whatever it is.
yeah.
But if
That's
I
the
were to go, yeah, if I was gonna go see a show, I gotta drive 2 hours sometimes, in
yeah,
Philadelphia or whatever.
yeah. I think that's a big difference between American and UK. We are very like, well, I'm sorry, it's not the next city. No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I've got work the next morning. I've got to drive back.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
But it's yeah, we do. I mean, I love live music, and I hope it's something that will still be around for ages. With we got venues closing down all over the place, but hopefully it's something that we can
It will be.
keep it going.
It's an irreplaceable experience, I
Yeah,
think. It's
yes.
an irreplaceable experience.
What's actually go on, what's your favorite live band you've ever seen, or favorite concert you've been to?
Uh, it's a little tough, but I would say probably I went to go see ELO, the Electric Light Orchestra with
Okay,
Jeff Lynne,
yeah,
and that was probably the best show I ever saw. I've always been a huge Jeff Lynne fan. I love, obviously ELO and all of his producing work that he does with like Tom Petty and George Harrison and the Traveling Wilburys and like all that stuff. So I've always been a massive fan of his, and their show is just unbelievable. They were just perfect. Um, so it would be either ELO. I've seen Paul McCartney, and that was another really good one. Um, I've seen Foo Fighters a lot, and they are also
yeah.
fantastic.
I mean, yeah,
And then Bayside as well. It's like a tough. It's like they're all so different. So like I enjoy different things about them.
yeah.
Uh, but I think ELO probably number one favorite concert I've been to.
Nice. What's your favorite concert you've played?
Ooh, that's a lot tougher.
Yeah.
Um, I've done a lot. Um, man, I would say my favorite show I ever played was probably some point we went on tour 2 years ago with Bowling for Soup and Less Than Jake, and one of those shows we played in Detroit, and man, with that was an incredible show. We played this place called the Fillmore in Detroit, and that was just it was wild. It was I mean all the shows were big, but that one was just like super big, and it was just really really cool. But sometimes my favorite shows are just dirty little punk rock clubs where there's 100 people there singing along. We play. we headlined a show in Connecticut, this little 100-person room right before the New Year, and it was unbelievable. It was just like 100 people wearing "Don't Panic" shirts, singing along, and that is also equally as amazing and as a favorite show as a huge 2,000-person event, at a big theater or whatever. So between those two, it could be,
Yeah.
it's one of the two of them.
So you said about like the smaller, sort of more intimate rooms. You're obviously coming over to the UK in March, and one of the places you're playing is the Boiler Room in Guildford, and it's a venue that I absolutely love
Mm,
because it is just a little cupboard, and
yeah.
it's just amazing.
Oh yeah. And it gets hot as shit in there. We played I did an acoustic show there. Um and if you don't know, like we're very close with the Bowling for Soup
Yeah,
guys. And they took me they did an acoustic tour in 2021,
yeah, I was there. I was there for
2022.
that one.
Oh, were you there? Oh,
Yeah,
cool. So it was Robin Jarrett and then myself and then the guys in Lacey and they played as like my backing band on some of the songs. And I remember that place was packed to the gills and it was 1,000,000 degrees in there, even though it was like, was it May or something? It was like, it wasn't the
yeah.
summer.
No, it was just a massive heat wave for no
It
reason.
was so hot. And we had to get onto the stage. There's like a little tiny, like Alice in Wonderland door that's like on the side. And that's how you get on the stage. So remember, we were like, oh, like trying to climb onto the stage with our guitars, like trying to get in. But that place was a great time. I'm excited to come back there.
Yeah, it's a great rule. I mean, we were stood by like the entrance, so every time somebody opened the door, we'd just get a little bit of breeze. We're like,
Yeah, oh,
just
that's nice. And I remember they put our merch outside in this like gardeny out back area, and it was like raining on and off a little bit that day. It was like it was fun. It was an experience.
yeah. I mean, it's just a great room. There's something about it. It's a little magical place, and that's on the 26th of March. You come in there. Then also the next closest place to us in Southampton is London on the Good
Yeah.
Friday. So people don't
Oh
really have an
yeah.
excuse. I mean, I've got an excuse, but most people don't have an
Yeah.
excuse because most people are off work that day.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. That's what I've been saying. It's a holiday weekend. Who does anything on that holiday, really? Like maybe you have dinner with your family on that Sunday or something, if you're, even do that. So
Yeah.
everyone's got off. So you got to come to London, come to Guildford, come to all of them.
I know. Yeah, I mean, my excuse for London is I am seeing Pendulum that day because they're playing the
Okay.
O2.
Well, that's a little bit bigger of a place than we're playing. That's okay. But you're gonna come. You can come to Guildford then.
I'm trying to convince my wife.
Oh yeah.
Then that's the decision maker. I can say I want to go, but it firmly comes down to her.
Show her some of our music videos. Maybe she'll enjoy those.
Well, see, you say that. I mean, when I said, "Oh, well, I've got this interview later today," it's with Don't Panic. She went, "Oh, I know those guys. They came up on my TikTok," and I was like, "I should. Oh, I like them." I was like, "How long ago have you not been listening to them for?" She went, "Oh, a few months." I was like, "Why
Oh,
not tell me?" I'm like,
that's awesome.
yeah. I was like, "You should share these things when you discover new music." Be like, "Oh, I found this new band today."
Yeah, I agree. She's holding out on you.
Yeah. So, what can we expect from this tour that we've got coming up?
Well, we got a great tour. So we're gonna be co-headlining with our buddy. His name's Thomas Ian Nicholas. He's the Thomas Nicholas Band. For those of you over there, he was in the movie American Pie. He was also in some other stuff in the States. He was in a movie called Rookie of the Year, which is like a baseball movie. And I know baseball's not as big in the UK. It's huge in the US, especially in the 90s. So it was one of my favorite movies. So I used to see, him play when I was a little, his movies when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
But he's a musician as well, and he's got a great band. So it's going to be us and him, and then a band from Wales called Who Saves the Hero, who's coming as well. And that's it. It's a 3-band tour. Nice tight show. Us and Tom will probably each play about an hour. We're gonna play songs from all 3 of our records. We'll do some other stuff too. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Our last tour there was incredible. We went on a co-headline with a band called the Dolly Rots, and it was an absolute blast. And there's we had a UK band with us that time too called the Royals, and they were really cool.
They're from
And,
Southampton.
yes, they are from Southampton.
Yeah.
That's right. We played in Southampton last time. I wanted to go back, but it was a place called Joiners, I think.
Yeah.
And that was great. But it just didn't wind up working out. So I think Guildford wound up taking its place this time. But yeah, it's a lot of shows. We're doing Glasgow and Leeds and Nottingham and Bristol, and we're going over to Cardiff. I'm sorry, maybe I'm mispronouncing some of these, but
No.
Manchester, London, and then Milton Keynes, and then I think that's all, and Guildford, of course.
Yeah.
So it's about eight or nine shows. We're gonna be over there for just under 2 weeks. Right around, like you said, Good Friday and Easter weekend. So we'll be there, and I think that it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We like to joke around. We like to have fun. We like to hang out with everybody. So when people come, we just stand at the merch table all night. We talk to people, meet them.
Yeah.
And I love everybody over there. Everyone's so nice and so excited. That why would I not? And then we got to go. And then for us, we have to go get our Scotch eggs and our and spend our evenings at Weatherspoons when it's over, and watch Naked Attraction when we're at the hotel because that's what we do.
I mean, that's a plan. That is a
Yeah,
plan.
yeah. It is the plan, not just a plan.
I love the fact there's 3 bands coming out though, because so many tours now it's just an opening band and then the headliner, and that's it.
Yeah.
So many tours are just 2 bands. I'm like, having that third band, I don't know, it makes that slightly more of a night out, if it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it warms you up a little bit. It gives you people some time to like settle into the club, You don't want to just like show up and then the band you wanted to see is playing. You want to give it a little bit of time so everyone's kind of like get in, get a drink, hear some music. Then, if it's the first band you want to see, you show up a little early. If it's the second band you want to see, you can like, you don't get stuck in line or something. I like having that extra band that like
Yeah.
gets the crowd warmed up, gets the room ready for, the show, and these guys are a great band, so they're going to do a good job of it. I know it for sure.
I also love it because I always say to people, go down, check out a support band, because you don't know
Exactly.
who you're going to discover.
We're still a support band, and we're always, we're always asking people like, make sure you come early. We're going to be opening, and it's kind of fun. You feel like a little more pressure on yourself to like really knock it out of the park and like blow people away, because what you said, like some people don't pay attention, or so it's like an extra little challenge. And so if you're coming to a show and you're listening, make sure to come early and check those guys out as well. They're gonna be great. I've listened to their music. I like them.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And hey, the tickets are super cheap. They're like £12 or something for
I mean,
the show.
that is cheap for a UK show now at the moment.
And 3 bands.
Yeah,
So
it's like £4 each.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know you have no excuse to not come to the show. That's what we're getting at right now.
Yeah, yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
there's no reason not to.
Yeah, everyone who's listening, you have to come.
I
Sorry.
mean, it's amazing. Thank you so much, Ted, for joining us. So obviously we've got the tour. What else can we expect from you guys over the next year? Is it just a case of just touring, touring, touring? Is that what
Oh
we got?
yeah, it's going to be a lot of touring. We're going to be so right before the UK tour, we're going out for a week in the US with our buddies in this band Punchline and another band called Have Mercy, and we're going to do some Northeast shows with them. When we get back from the UK in April, we're going to go to Texas, and we're going to be on tour with the band called The Spill Canvas. And then in May, we're going out with our buddies in a band called Keep Flying, so another week tour there. June, we're going to be playing Bowling for Soup's 30th anniversary show in Texas, in Dallas. So we're going to fly back down there. And we're playing a big festival in Pittsburgh that hasn't been announced yet, so you didn't hear it from me. So if you're a States person listening anyway. And then we have a really big tour at the end of the year in September that we haven't announced yet. We're the support band, like we said, we're the opener. There's two bigger bands that we're opening for. We're really, really excited for that. So a lot of live dates. We just put out our new record last year, at the end of the year. So this year we wanted to spend just touring and promoting that record and getting it in people's hands. We have it on vinyl and CD and all that stuff. So we want to make sure that we sell all those CDs. You gotta get rid of them CDs, and we have a bunch of vinyl as well. And then also some point at the end of the summer, we're gonna record 4 cover songs, and we're gonna do a little cover EP. We did it 2 years ago. It was called Undercover, the EP, and we each chose a song, and then we recorded it and just digitally released it, and it was a lot of fun. People really liked it, so we're doing it again this year. And the way we're doing it this year is that each song, so there's 4 of us, 4 songs. Each song was a number 1 on the year that you were born. So I was born in 1984. So the song that has to be in my choice has to be a number 1 song from 1984.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. And then it makes it a little more challenging because we don't get to pick really. We just have to figure out how to make the song work. So I think that's kind of fun.
I mean, there was some decent music in the 80s. I mean, I can't really tell for 84 off the top of my head.
So I could tell you mine. The song we're doing for me is "Jump" by Van Halen.
Okay, well, yeah, solid track.
Yeah, exactly. So we got some good stuff, and it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be awesome. And again, I like the challenge of figuring out how to make those kind of songs our own song that we can cover and play. So I'm really excited to start recording those this summer.
It's been amazing to chat to you, Ted. Thank you so much. Yeah, looking forward to seeing live. Looking forward the cover EP sounds really exciting, and then also some more exciting dates to come for the rest of the year. So yeah, all around amazing time for Don't Panic. So thank you very much,
dude. Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
Thank you.
All right.